featuring Creighton. We're joined now by Marcus Zagarowski. Marcus, congratulations. We have several questions in the queue for you. And the first is from Joe Nugent. Joe, when I open your line, please give us your first name, last name, and affiliation. Thank you.
Hi, Joe Nugent, WOWT-TV. Marcus, big run at the end of the first half there, 20-4. What was going on there? Why were you guys so successful?
I just think we found our rhythm offensively, and then we started getting stops. And once we get stops and get out and run in transition, we're tough to guard, and that's what we have to do moving forward.
Our next question comes from Matt I'm not pronouncing that correctly.
DeMarinis.
You've got it, Matt DeMarinis. Your line is open.
Appreciate you, Marcus.
Always, bro.
Yeah, I guess with the change of pace tonight off the dribble, keeping it alive and kind of surveying the defense and getting inside and outside, did you feel like that was dictated by what Ohio was showing you defensively? Were you just trying to keep the ball alive as long as possible to see if you had windows to score or facilitate?
Yeah, we knew what the ball screen coverage is. It was either going to be a red, which is like the big man kind of shows, like takes 2 steps down and goes back to the big, and my man kind of goes under him. But or they do a drop coverage, and most of the time it was a drop coverage. So that those two pointers were there. I probably missed all the easy ones, but yeah, that was there. I was just trying to read it, trying to get a flip up or trying to get a throwback. But yeah, it was more of a drop coverage, and that made me keep my dribble alive, and yeah.
Andy, your line is now open. Andy, it looks like you're still muted. Hold on just a moment.
Here we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Andy Kendi, technologically challenged from KETV in Omaha, Nebraska. Marcus, congratulations. Have you thought about the magnitude of this achievement, bringing a Sweet 16 trip to Creighton, and how does it feel to achieve one of your goals?
Yeah, it's a phenomenal feeling. We worked. This is a 2-year kind of thing for us. We got it taken away from us last year, and then everything we've been through this year is for moments like this, and I'm happy we capitalized and came through. But we're not done yet. This is just a start, and we look forward to our next matchup with Gonzaga.
Our next question comes from John Fanta. John, your line is now open.
Marcus, to that point about accomplishing that goal again in the second weekend, that you have more left to do. You're the one that's steering this ship right now. Can you take us through your mentality?
Yeah, my mentality is, expect to win. That's who I am. I'm always going to expect to win. I don't care who I play. I know they're a great team. I know they have no weaknesses. I know they haven't lost, but that doesn't change my mentality. I'm going in, telling my guys, they still got to play us. Obviously I'll take nothing away from them. They're a great team. They dominate teams, and we have to, have a really good game plan and really execute that. And I look forward to those practices coming up.
Our next question is from Adam Kruger. Adam, your line is now open.
Adam Kruger, CBS Omaha. Marcus, what do you think a win like this can do for the national reputation of this program moving forward?
Yeah, I think it brings more light to it. I already think Creighton is a great school to come to. It's awesome, and just continuing to win games, and especially at this time of the year, is only going to help this program out, and I'm happy to be a part of that.
Our next question comes from John at the Omaha World Herald. John, your line is now open.
Yeah, Marcus. John Neatow with the World Herald. Sorry about that. It just looked like you guys had a certain, spark to you. It always helps to make shots, I'm sure, but just the energy that you had. Did you feel a little bit different tonight, or as the game was rolling, that maybe you could, that you guys felt like you were had a rhythm going?
Yeah, I think the first game of this tournament, I think we were kind of almost like on our heels a little bit. Almost maybe a step too slow, or we're kind of just in our own heads. Including myself. I was pretty nervous. This is my first. That was my first March Madness game, so getting that one over with and getting on to the next one, and then I just think we play better when we play free and we just play loose and just trying to enjoy each other, and that's what we got to do.
Our next question comes from John at Teetle. Your line is open.
John Titel from hoopshd.com. Marcus, I believe the only game of your career where you guys allowed 100 points in regulation was to Gonzaga back in your freshman year. I know the rosters have changed a lot, but what are your memories of their 62-point second half that night? And do you feel you guys will have to play a near perfect or perfect game to beat them?
Yeah, I do remember that game, and I remember we were up at 7 at half. I think to beat them, we have to play really, really well for 40 minutes. We can't have those spurts of where we take bad shots or we miss an assignment. We gotta be on our we have to be. They're a great team, and they, like I said, they don't have any weaknesses. So for us to mess up on a game plan on defensive end or take a bad shot on offense is only going to help them out. So I'm still confident. I feel ready. We'll be ready.
Marcus, congratulations. Best of luck in the next round.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm lowering all the hands right now. If you have a question for Coach, please re-raise your hand. Coach, thanks for joining us. We've got several questions in the queue, but if you'd like to provide some opening comments.
Just incredibly proud of this group. The journey of the last 2 years with this core group of guys has been incredible. And as I told them before the game, this is where they were supposed to be. Last year's tournament got taken away. We would have been a 2 or 3 seed. And the celebrations of a great season last year were taken from us because of the virus. And to sacrifice and do everything that they've done to allow us to get to this day has been pretty incredible by a special group of young guys. So I couldn't be more proud of them. Obviously, we beat a very good Ohio team that was playing at a high level. And especially defensively, I thought we did a terrific job.
Thank you. Our first question comes from Joe Nugent. Your line is open, Joe.
Hey, Mac, I'm curious for you what it means personally to lead this program into a regional semifinal for the first time since 1974.
Yeah, it means a lot. And obviously the tournament was a lot different in 74. There was a lot fewer teams. So really since the expanded tournament, this is a first. So to do it with this core group of guys, as I mentioned, what they went through last year to be able to get to this day and have this opportunity, I'm really, really proud of them, and obviously, appreciate the support of everyone that's helped me along the way, starting with, my wife Teresa and my family, and then, the Creighton administration from, Father Hendrickson to Bruce Rasmussen to Butch and Adrian Dahl and the gang. They've been incredibly supportive during our 11-year tenure here. And it's this is a ribbon on top of it for now, but I hope we're not finished.
Our next question comes from Matt from White and Blue Review. Matt, your line is open.
Yeah, Matt DeMarinis, White and Blue Review. Mac, Denzel's defense on Jason Preston tonight. I mean, you could argue that Jason Preston's one of the top 2 or 3 guards in this whole tournament, and it didn't seem like Denzel and Sharif ever let him get into a rhythm.
Denzel was terrific in both games, both against McLaughlin and against Jason Preston. And as you mentioned, Jason's very talented. Sees the floor so well, and we didn't want to allow him to be a passer and a scorer. So I thought Denzel's work on him on the ball, Christian and Ryan in the ball screen coverage was really good. And then just like the Santa Barbara game, the change up going from Denzel to Sharif, that's a hard one to swallow as an offensive player when all of a sudden you've got a big, strong, physical defender on you in Denzel, with great anticipation skills, and now you come in with this little guy that's going to get under you and poke at the ball and make every dribble difficult. That's hard to adjust to, and those two have really emerged the last month of the season as go-to defenders for us. And from where Denzel was coming from Southeast Missouri, when he played the 4 all the time and guarded bigs, and he did a lot of that last year, to what he did today is speaks volumes of his buy-in and his development on that end of the floor.
Our next question comes from Andy at KETV. Andy, your line is open.
Hey, Coach Mac. Andy Kendi from KETV in Omaha. Hey, Mac, Marcus talked a little bit about it, but the importance of playing loose and free. Did you get a different sense from your team tonight that they were a little more at ease, and how big was that late first half surge?
I think there was some nervous energy in that first game on Saturday. I thought we were a little better today. Their ball screen coverage was probably a little different than we anticipated, and I thought it took our guys a little time to get settled into that. Once we did, I thought we played better offensively and were able to create a little separation before halftime. But Marcus just plays the game. He plays the game the right way, and he's everybody's talking about a lot of good guards. McLaughlin Saturday and Preston today, and how good they are and what they mean to their team and their ability to play after college. They're missing the boat on the guy we got on our team. That dude is gonna, when he makes a decision to go to the next level, he's gonna play a long time, because he wins, and he won when he was in high school, he won in AAU, and he's won in college. And he's got a grit and a toughness about him that you don't see often, and he's absolutely been a pleasure to coach.
Our next question comes from John from the Omaha World Herald. Just one moment. John, your line is open.
John Niatawa with the Omaha World Herald. Greg, was there a moment at all today, yesterday, where you got a sense that your guys were in the right frame of mind? You mentioned, and you told them before the game, hey, this is where we're supposed to be. I wonder if you kind of had an inkling at all that you thought they might come out and play pretty well today.
I felt good after the UConn game. I thought for us to be able to win that game as well as UConn was playing, and kind of win a rock fight where we didn't necessarily shoot the basketball great. Even though we didn't play good against Georgetown, and Georgetown deserves a lot of the credit, I really felt good coming into this tournament because of that. We'd been in a lot of close games this year, and sometimes in the NCAA tournament, especially the early rounds, teams don't shoot it great for whatever reason. And we had to find other ways to win, and we really did a great job on two very good offensive teams, in the two teams that we played in the tournament. So their preparation was good, their focus was good in the film room yesterday and this morning before we went over to shoot around, and they were hungry to play. And this group's been together a long time, and they know that I trust them, and I think they trust each other, and you saw that, I think, this afternoon.
Our next question comes from John Fanta. John, your line is now open.
Matt, congratulations. Chad Gallagher, a Hall of Famer Paul Silas, and now Christian Bishop, the only Creighton Blue Jays with back-to-back NCAA tournament games with double-double performances. Can you explain the level that Christian is playing at right now?
It's incredible. He's so active, and he tweaked the ankle the first play of the game against Georgetown, and really struggled in practice most of the week, probably until Friday, where he went through a full practice. But he's attacking the glass. His ball screen coverage is elite. And his ability to roll to the rim and put pressure on the rim and do what he does and run in transition is incredible. So, those are two spectacular names that he's in company with. And, our sports information director, Rob Anderson, told me before the game or this morning at breakfast that the 4 NCAA tournament wins that Creighton has since 2002, somebody's had a double-double in that game. And the losses, nobody's had a double-double. So we got to find someone to have one again on Sunday against Gonzaga.
We have 2 quick follow-up questions, it looks like. Joe Nugent, your line is now open.
Greg, curious about that run at the end of the first half where you guys finished on a 20-4 pace there. What do you think happened? What changed there late in the first half?
Well, I thought we got some stops and we got out in transition. I felt that they were a little bit tired. I sensed that, and I think our guys sensed that, and I think we're used to playing that way. And while there's some teams in their conference that play fast, I'm not sure they play as fast as we do. So we were able to continue to put pressure on them in transition, and then that created some mistakes on their part. And we were able to get loose and hit some shots during that stretch. But you don't have a 20-4 run without the 4. So defensively, you have to be doing your job, and that obviously allows us some runouts and gets us in space, and we're really good when we play in space.
Our last question is also a follow-up from John at the Omaha World Herald. John, your line is open.
Yeah, John Niantow with the World Herald. Greg, you know how kind of tight-knit the Creighton family is, especially from the basketball program side. I wondered, I know you know that there's a lot of alums watching and a lot of former players who take pride in this. Did you hear from any of them over the last couple of days, last week or so, or just sort of what's your impression of how connected this group is and how much they cheer for you guys as you make this run?
Yeah, I've received a lot of text during the course of the season from a lot of former players. And obviously, a lot of our former guys that played for us playing overseas, or some of them in the NBA, are tuned in all the time. And then, the guys that have moved on with their families and are into their jobs that played for Coach Altman and even before Coach Altman. The Creighton family it's a special place, and you saw it in our fans today. And as I told the team in the locker room, we had a bunch of people here that took time out of their busy schedule to find their way to Indianapolis. Not just because they enjoy watching this group play basketball. I think they enjoy who this group is and what they stand for and how they've represented our university over the course of their careers. And to have so many people here today to celebrate on this stage is something that I'll never forget. I know our guys will never forget. But we've talked about having the best fans in the country for a long time, and we didn't get to enjoy the 17 or 18,000 fans per game at home this year. But the fact that we had that group here today, and they were loud and they were proud, and they had a chance to celebrate history with us, is something none of us will ever forget.
Coach, thanks so much for being here. Congratulations again, and best of luck going forward.
Thank you.
That's it for this post-game news conference. A transcript of the coach's interview will be provided by ASAP Sports at www.ncaa.com/transcripts. You can also find a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at www.ncaa.veritone.com. Thank you all for joining us.